No, sir, I never see this. Look what market gone to. Why you come, sir? Murder, my dear. My love.
Nation, that is the Reggae Boys in training in their final training session ahead of their must-win match against Curacao in the World Cup qualifiers later tonight.
Bro, I don't want to sound like a goat mouth, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
What?
Curacao, if they go through, they will be the youngest nation ever to make it to the World Cup, right? And I think that, yeah, we want to go there as well, but it has to be who is hungrier on the day, you get me? And I don't think Curacao is going to go there and just lay down and for us to just take the 3 points like that.
Nation, though the youth probably have to go hide after the match. That is if Jamaica lose. And yes, he should shut his blasted mouth if he know he has a goat mouth. And for all of the listeners who are listening elsewhere and might not know the term goat mouth, no, we're not talking about bounty killer. Goat mouth normally means that your predictions normally come true. What about the youth though? Though many might not like what he stated, but personally, I think he spoke facts. As a matter of fact, check out Curaçao's story and you might understand why some been saying that Curaçao players play as if they want it more.
Curacao are one win away from becoming the smallest country to qualify for a World Cup after they thrashed Bermuda 7-0. The huge win has lifted the tiny Caribbean nation to the top of their qualifying group with one match left to play. They face Jamaica on Wednesday, knowing that a draw will be enough to reach next year's event. Curaçao's population of just over 150,000 people would make them the smallest country in history to qualify.
What a story. But sadly, we have to crush that dream. We have to crush that dream, crush that hope. Because if you're someone who really wants Jamaica to go through, and they really and truly believe that Jamaica can do this, not even can, you really truly believe that Jamaica are going to do this, the Reggae Boys are going to be victorious, and you have that feel-good feeling, I don't think you want to be on the opposite end of that when the match finish. As a matter of fact, let me show you the Nigeria story.
Nigeria is playing Congo this evening. Father! God, you have brought us this far. You have not brought us this far to leave us now. That World Cup we must enter. God no go shame us.
So with Nigeria, it came down to the last kick of the game. The opponent scored their penalty and sent home Nigeria.
Stone them.
He don't miss.
Nation, this is what it sounds like when all hopes and dreams are crushed. And if that wasn't bad enough, here's what the coach decided to go on international news. Here's what the coach decided to go and say.
Eric, coming towards the end of the game, I could see that you were a bit frustrated with maybe some of the DR Congo staff members. Could you give us an update on what happened there?
During all the penalty session, a guy of Congo did some voodoo. Every time. So this is why I was a little nervous after him.
Yeah. What did you see?
Yeah, something like that. You know, with the. I don't know if it's a water or something like that, you know, so I don't know.
So Reggae Boys, later victory for the country. Don't know if we can give one more, but one thing, we not accept nothing less than a victory.
I hear Whisper say, yo, you know, them ready, and one thing with me, from the ball them say them ready, I always believe in them, so let's see. But hoping for the best, but if it doesn't happen, I wouldn't say I'm surprised, to be honest.
Social media users reacting to that, one person stated, point up, I want them to go, so that some eyes can turn to the country. But I also hope that they don't. These boys don't deserve it. They chose Jamaica after England, I want them. Chippy them na act like a role model to the youths them. Whisper only post cars, nothing football already. Remember when me and youths and Sterling forward out as a Jamaican, repping for the culture the real way. That was amazing. Them new money are ready. Another stated, Jamaica side is garbage. FIFA specifically give Jamaica an easy road to be in the World Cup because of marketing, but they are now depending on luck. And the last comment we are going to look at, what's a facts, bro? The level of football Jamaica playing is not World Cup level.
Bro, I don't want to sound like a goat mouth, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Nation, just before we move on from the footballing thing, all I know are EPL supporters. I tell you all the while, you know, say Arsenal is the only club who really represent Jamaica like that. You're not going to find that at Manchester United, not Manchester City, not Tottenham, not Liverpool, not Chelsea. You're not going to see it. So this hate that you have for the Gunners, it needs to stop. Because look at this. Gunners are the only fan base which really say them get up and do something for Jamaica with the whole Hurricane Melissa relief effort. I do get to realize that most of the top Arsenal YouTubers, them have some kind of Jamaican relations to them. Even expressions from over Tottenham, I think, is a Jamaican.
Hey, yo, we're down here at Murky FC.
Yeah.
White Yard is here, right? We're putting in the work, right? What we've been doing is we've been, I say we, everybody in the community, bringing down stuff and dropping it off and tell them what you're going to do with it.
It's shipping it to Jamaica next week, and when it gets shipped off, we're going to bring it down to Jamaica and then break it up and put it into some nice packages and go around to the communities and give them out to people out there, man. So thank you to everybody who has helped and who's continuing to help, and also people who are joining the stream the other day as well and donating. Thank you so much, man.
Here is Troops TV, another Jamaican over there in England, well known in England at that. Here's him sitting with top footballer Pierre Bangman doing a live stream gathering donation for Jamaica. Tell you, stop sleep on Arsenal. Come on, man. But as we just mentioned, Hurricane Melissa, the hurricane relief effort and so on. Earlier today, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, landed in Jamaica with fellow CARICOM leaders. Prime Minister, after she landed, spoke to local media about what Barbados will be doing to assist Jamaica.
As you've heard from my colleague Prime Ministers, we are here first and foremost as an act of solidarity. Jamaica must know that it does not walk alone in this moment. This year it is Jamaica, next year it will be one of us. And it is important that we retain that solidarity. We have been fighting for international fairness on a number of issues because of events such as this. And that is why I hope that we can work with your government to see how best we can create an opportunity where they can focus purely on rebuilding and also being able to bridge the loss of revenue that will obviously take place for the next, God knows what, 9 months, 2 years, whatever. And if we can work with you and the international community to do that, that is step one. At the national level, Barbados has already sent off its field hospital, and I think it is due to arrive tomorrow and will be set up, I'm told, in Savlamar. And we're happy to share that with you because the displacement in Jamaica is more than 3 times our population, just to give it scale. I know that President Ali will announce some initiatives, and certainly, as Prime Minister Brown said, we will also ensure that we will send people to be able to help with the bridging of the displacement. And then we want to be able to help with some equipment that we may have as well, in particular garbage compactor trucks. We just took 8. We will give up 4 of the 8 and try to get them to Jamaica, because you have at all times to be in a race against time in terms of trying to bring back normalcy to the people here. We have already sent tarps and generators and also immediate food out of Trinidad, Caribbean food that's dehydrated that people may more enjoy than some of the other stuff, and we will continue to do that. But the truth is that the biggest contribution that we can make to Jamaica with President of the IDB and others is to see how we can work with the international community to give you the elbow room, the fiscal space that you need, because you can't rebuild Jamaica without being given that. And regrettably, you are already close to hitting your fiscal anchor at 60%. That is now going to be diverted, but we all know that it happened to us during COVID. We recovered from it, and I have every confidence that Jamaica will recover from this moment, and that the people in these 5 parishes in particular will have an opportunity to build back stronger and better, and equally that the individuals who have gone through this experience will have a greater passion now for why they must work together as a people to make their communities and their country the best that it can be. Thank you.
The Prime Minister also spoke, stating that the government spending for Hurricane Melissa will be fully accounted for.
Rebuilding Jamaica will require all hands on deck. Right, Telethon? But it will not only require Jamaican hands, it will require the hands of our brothers and sisters in CARICOM, in Central America, South America, North America, and indeed the wider world, including Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. And it is our intention to mobilize regional and international support to make the work of rebuilding lighter. And this is for good reason, because Jamaica can be an example of a country hit by a disaster, but recover and recover even better and stronger. We can be the example of resilience, because we have accepted as a government, and we have been trying to inculcate this in our politics, that resilience is an important feature of government and social institutions and our infrastructure. And we have done this by being resilient in our public finances. In fact, I would dare say that one of the reasons we are able to galvanize the multilateral community, it is because of the sacrifice and great effort that we as a people have collectively made in ensuring that we have fiscal discipline rooted in our political culture, in our economics, and in our civic and social affairs. It is well appreciated and understood that the government of Jamaica must be fiscally responsible. So Jamaica is a country that will use resources from the international community and our own taxes in the best and most frugal way, in the smartest way. So we intend to continue this through the development process. Now, it is regretful, without question, that having struggled so hard to reduce our debt from 130 or 40% of GDP to heading towards 60% of GDP, that we are now faced with a situation where half the country literally has been devastated in terms of its infrastructure, that we will have to spend on relief and recovery. But we have also lost revenues. So our financial situation is of great concern, and it has to be managed carefully. I know that at this time there will be call for spending. There will be even temptation for profligacy. But I assure you that my administration, yes, we will spend to relieve human suffering. But every dollar that is spent will be accounted for. But not just from an accounting point of view, meaning adding up the dollars spent, but it will be accounted for from an efficiency point of view, which is really the greater accountability. That every dollar spent, every aid given, every commitment made will be used in a way that quickly advances the recovery, but at the end of it, makes Jamaica stronger. We've been very strategic in managing the disaster thus far. We're standing at what is essentially ground zero, meaning that this would be within the eye of the hurricane, stretching for about 30 miles from the center of the eye. And we decided that we would bring our friends to see the damage. But the tour was strategic. So we started in Montego Bay, where damage was significant, but certainly not comparable to here. So the international community can get a sense of what the real impact is. Jamaica is not totally destroyed. Jamaica is still standing, and we are recovering quickly. As we drove in, we would see people rebuilding on their own effort, which is applaudable. And we encourage you, if you can stand on your own 2 feet, then please do. It makes it easier for us to take up the people who can't. You would see, as Prime Minister Motley commented, why is there so much traffic on your roads? People are out. Commerce is returning. But we would have also seen the devastation on houses, on communities, the loss of historic heritage sites. Many of our churches, some of them 200 years old, totally destroyed. Our schools destroyed. Livelihoods destroyed. But as President Ali pointed out, the spirit of the Jamaican people, indomitable, optimistic, and still looking forward to a positive future. That is the core on which we will build and recover Jamaica. So, we estimate that approximately 150,000 homes destroyed. We estimate that about 900,000 Jamaicans have been impacted. We estimate, conservatively, approximately $8 billion in physical damage. US, thank you, head of the PIOJ, $8 billion in just physical damage. That has nothing to do with what we will have to spend on relief and recovery and what we have lost in revenues.
Well said by the Prime Minister. Although based on what I'm getting from this, not much work is really being done. At this stage, we are still in assessment. But personally, I feel as if the governments really need to make haste. Cannot take a little time, although it's important to really calculate and know what you're doing. But people out there are struggling, are suffering, and they really, really, really need the help.
As many voices as possible. Please, Mr. Holness, I'm very grateful for the food, I'm very grateful for the water and the tarpaulin, but it's leaking, sir. The rain is still falling. My home is completely in a riverbed. I have nowhere to put my children at night. We have bullfrog, cockroach, fartlek. There's only so much this child can do, sir. Please, we need a house. I'm very grateful for the food. My son is very grateful for the pampers and the food. But please, we need a house. We need this now. It's an emergency. This is very urgent. Every night I have to struggle between flying insects, crawling, bullfrog when we never see it. Yes, them are meow. I've never heard a bullfrog meow. I never met cat sound. One night, we never see that in all my time.
Can you imagine people in the country starving and the government giving out food to starving people and taking it back because they don't have an ID when most people lose everything, including identification?
TRN ID to collect food and people are starving. It's a wicked government. People here trying to get food from the government and they're asking for TRN and ID just to get food. Most of these people you see here don't have TRN or ID. These people lost their homes. The documents. Look, they're taking back the food, taking back the food because they don't get They just took back the food because they didn't have a TRA. That's crazy. The soldiers just took back the food. Sending away the people.
Once again, nation, I have to shout out to the regular folks, the people of Jamaica. Shout out to the outside help too, of course, because rebuilding, recovering from Hurricane Melissa it's an collective effort. So shout out to each and everyone, every group, every organization, every foundation that have been doing their part.
My good friend Sean Green is going across. So they're going to make a balance it. I'll watch it with them. Yo, man, don't turn it over. Nah, turn over, man. Boss, you have to boss. I next way you have to turn. If we want the goods them. Move the bird. Jump in. Bago, put your foot in the boat, na bago. Bueno, put your foot in the boat. Dima. Yo, get him up. Hey, work, man, work. Then can't do
it. I should also mention this. Some people are trying to be optimistic, while some people already tell themselves that things are basically easy right now. Wait until a couple of months later. Here's an egg farmer after his interview stating that months and months before in the egg industry for the egg industry.
Yes, sir. Name and position, sir.
Osborne Bromley, the owner of Global Egg, and we have a brand new facility that we just put in place. Never even last with 2 months, the hurricane struck and destroyed every damn thing, but we have life, so with that, we have hope.
So about how much money you spend on these 2 facilities actually again?
The total project is 540 million, but the recent purchase with the birds is like 70 million plus the feed, so that's a whole loss.
So you're going near to billion, over 700 million?
Well, maybe I put it about 600 million, $650 million. So.
And majority of it is gone?
Of course. But we started rebuilding process at one house. The frame was okay, but everything was taken off and the infrastructure was damaged badly. So we get hundreds of sheets of zinc and start the rebuilding of that one. The other one, sadly, can't be repaired because the frame is totally twisted up and bent up and mashed up. You have well in excess of 15,000 dead birds, and the list goes on. But as I say, if we have life, we have hope. So
how much does this set you back?
Well, this was my lifetime savings from 1980 till now. So sadly, I don't have 45 years more to live because I'm actually close to 70 years old. So anything we get, a couple of years more, we work with whatever. But it can't be rebuilt. We just do what we can and work.
So how will this shortage of egg now manage it?
No, it's going to be a devastation for the egg industry for months to come.
Last thing pertaining to the topic, the I Love Jamaica Telethon and the virtual concert will be on Sunday, November the 23rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. to 7. 7 p.m. of course, it would never run to 7 a.m. Come on. I think everyone seen on the picture will be performing. Even some that are not seen on the picture, their names shown below. Will the likes of Vybz Kartel be performing? I don't know, maybe not. JCDC Jamaica did share a video of Vybz Kartel. And of course, you know that JCDC is government owned. But pre the video.
That's it. Up to the time Vybz Kartel is talking. And Hurricane Melissa has left a trail of destruction behind as she ravaged my island. But guess what she couldn't destroy? The resilience of the Jamaican. So we need the total unity right now in this rebuilding process. Everyone needs to play a role. I'm playing mine, and I'm sure you're playing yours. Remember, one Jamaica, one aim, one destiny, one God. But it's under my nose.
Remember, nation, once more, it is on the 23rd of November from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Still, nation, just a few things to mention about dancehall artist Vybz Kartel just before close off. Yesterday, the entertainer stated that Squash will be released sometime soon.
Squash have a forward a road, man. Dog, I got change him life. I tell you, God is the greatest. Nobody no bigger than forgiveness. And everybody can change. Yeah, every day can be the same. Every day can be the same. The youth them a pray. Every day can't be the same.
Maybe Vybz Kartel knows something that most don't know. But here's what's said to be an unreleased track from Vybz Kartel and the incarcerated dancehall artist Squash.
Me not fear nobody, me wait them a bud.
Nation, you see what time a clock, you see what time a knock. We are oriented to get the f*** out of here. And as usual, my people.
For the money want go on St. James, Brooklyn, London, Bronx, White Plains. Brooklyn, Batman, now post on page. No face, no case.